Hi friends, in my training and study and practice of really healthy daily breathing habits, 3 things often come up. 1, breathing through the nose as much as possible. 2, breathing much more slowly than most of us do on a regular basis. And then the third piece is finding more depth within the breath. And by depth, I don't mean size or volume, I just mean depth within the body. So that's what we're going to explore today. So just find yourself in a good seated position. You can also be standing or walking if you'd prefer with this practice. And let's just bring our attention into the breath as it currently is. Nothing to change, nothing to fix here. This is just about awareness currently. So as you start to bring your attention to your current breath, just starting to take notice of what is the pace of the breath. Does it feel fast? Does it feel slow? Notice where you're breathing from. Is it coming in through the nose, or do you feel like you need to breathe through the mouth? And then starting to just take notice of where does the breath move to within the body. So as you take that inhale, how far into the body does the breath reach? And nothing to judge here, just taking notice. Does it stop more in the throat? Does it stop in the upper chest? Does it stop in the ribs, the low ribs, the belly, the low back? Where does the breath actually reach within the body just as it currently is? Nothing to fix, nothing to change. And as you start to gain awareness here, wherever the breath is currently reaching, just gently let the inhale continue to go right to that same space. Don't try to force it past that space. So if it feels like it's stuck in the upper chest, maybe there's a little bit of blockage there, allow that inhale to just come in and gently touch that exact place that you feel the blockage or the resistance. And then on the exhale, just feel the body soften. So the inhale brings attention to the space gently and without any type of judgment. And then the exhale creates a sense of relaxation and softening. And after 3 or 4 more breaths here, is there something that can soften? Is there something that can let go or release that allows the breath to drop even just a tiny bit deeper into the body? So again, nothing to force. Just this invitation to the body. Is there something that we can let go of? Is there something that we can soften here that just allows the breath to reach a bit further into the body? And as you find just a little bit more depth with each breath, just continuing to soften, especially on that exhale, and making sure that the exhale feels complete. So don't stop the exhale short. Make sure the body feels completely empty, completely relaxed without pushing anything out at the end. And then just bring the inhale back in to whatever space starts to feel blocked. So just continue with that sense of breath for now, and I want you to now start to draw your attention into the ribs themselves. And you can even take your hands and put the fingers towards the front of the ribs and the thumbs towards the back of the ribs, so you're actually holding your sides. And just feel, do the ribs move, especially here at the low portion of the ribs? Do the ribs move at all? And if they feel still, is there something that you could soften, release, let go of that would allow the ribs to start to float and move? And we want to feel is more the ribs moving as a barrel shape, not just out to the sides or not just out to the front, but we want to feel the ribs expanding in all directions and then coming back down into a relaxed state on the exhale. So on the inhale, what we'd like to feel is the ribs just opening slightly. And then the exhale, the ribs just returning back to a natural resting state. So as you play with this, just starting to try to move the breath through the body in different ways, and this can be a bit playful. What can you do? Maybe even shifting around in your seat or moving the body a little bit to loosen up and open something. And see if that helps to bring some movement into the low ribs, where they just float outward, and then on the exhale, they return gently and back to resting. And the only caution here is just be careful of forcing it. We don't need to muscle this. This will just happen naturally if the breath moves through the body in the right way and we keep the body soft. As you find a little bit more depth through that practice of allowing the ribs to float in that barrel shape, the next thing that I'd invite you to try is also even creating a little bit of resistance to the breath. So what we can do here is we can take the fingers and we can just gently rest them at the tips of the nose. So we're slightly blocking off the airway at the tip of the nose. A little bit of restriction to the airway, that's going to get the diaphragm to activate, to have to engage a little bit more to bring the breath in, and then to allow the air to come back out. So by just gently blocking off the airways, what we should feel is that little bit of resistance being created. And you may even feel the muscle there just underneath the low ribs, the actual diaphragm muscle, starting to retract and pull downward. And then on the exhale, it should just relax and soften and return to its resting position. So by creating some resistance here and just getting the diaphragm to activate a little bit more, this is going to often help open up some more space for the breath to drop deeper within the body. And you can play with how much here, if you want to, you can really restrict quite a bit and really feel that activation of the diaphragm as it draws the air in. So go ahead and release any type of restriction that you might have on the nose and just come back to a natural breathing pattern. And as you do this, where is the breath moving through the body differently than before when you first started this practice? Is it reaching somewhere deeper within the body? And even if it's not, has something shifted in how the breath feels right now? And as you take notice of what feels different, how does that affect just your overall sense of being? Does your energy feel different? Does your mind feel different? So try to maintain this sense of depth as you start to expand your awareness back into the space around you. And even as you step away from this recording into anything else that you're going to be doing today, see if you can keep some of this depth in place. And recognize too that this may take some time to continually reset the breath, because we develop patterns over a very long period of time, and to reset those patterns, it does take a lot of practice. So don't get discouraged if you find yourself back into upper chest breathing, even in a few moments. Just reach back to one of these 3 tools and reset the breath, and know that this may take some time and take some patience. If you've been enjoying these meditations, integrations, explorations, I'd invite you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you get the first updates when something new gets posted. I'll see you soon.